Most people assume all rotisserie chickens are basically the same. Grab whatever's closest, they're all fine, right? Wrong. Dangerously wrong. While you've been treating rotisserie chickens like they're interchangeable, some stores have been serving up rubber disguised as poultry, banking on your assumption that it's all pretty much the same anyway. The gap between worst and best is shockingly wide. Dry, salty disappointment versus actually juicy, flavorful chicken that tastes like someone cared. So let's talk about the 8 store-bought rotisserie chickens that will either waste your money or actually deliver on the convenience promise. Because life's too short to chew rubber or drown mediocre chicken in sauce just to make it edible. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously regrettable dinner decisions. Number 8, Walmart Marketside Rotisserie Chicken. At $4.98, this seems like an unbeatable deal until you actually taste what you're getting. The breast meat has this chalky, mealy consistency that crumbles rather than tears. Dark meat is stringy with visible connective tissue. It tastes aggressively salty on the outside, while somehow being completely flavorless underneath, with a metallic aftertaste that lingers. The skin is simultaneously greasy and leathery, like rubber coated in vegetable oil that peels off in sheets. You're looking at 460 milligrams of sodium per serving, 19% of your daily value. At $4.98 for 2 pounds with only 1.8 pounds edible, you're paying $2.77 per pound of actual meat. Reddit users describe it as genuinely impressive how they made chicken taste like nothing while being too salty. This functions as a pure loss leader. Walmart loses money per bird just to get you in the store. They're banking on food desert residents with no alternatives and people buying purely for soup where texture doesn't matter. You're paying $5 to learn that chicken can taste like salted disappointment. When the best use case is shred it for soup so you don't have to actually taste it, you've created something tragic. But if you think that's bad, wait until you meet the chicken that charges you $3 extra for basically the same disappointment. Number 7, Kroger Simple Truth Rotisserie Chicken. At $8.49, this is supposed to be the natural option that justifies spending extra. The breast meat somehow achieves being simultaneously dry and slimy, crumbles into parched chunks while leaving oily residue on your fingers. The herb blend creates this artificial Italian seasoning packet flavor that sits on the surface without penetrating, with a chemical aftertaste distinctly reminiscent of preservatives. The skin has a wet, soggy texture like steamed cardboard left in the rain. That $8.49 price represents a 42% markup over standard Kroger chicken from marginal to non-existent. Quality improvement. You're paying $3.25 per pound of edible meat. A Kroger employee on Reddit admitted same chickens as regular line, different seasoning packet, way higher markup. And here's where it gets tricky. That natural flavoring includes maltodextrin and yeast extract, not exactly the simple ingredients the name suggests. This exists purely to capture health-conscious consumers without delivering on quality promise. Classic greenwashing. They're banking on you trusting the Simple Truth name without comparing quality to the $5.99 standard version 3 feet away. $8 for herbs that taste like they came from a scented candle and meat that's somehow dry and slimy at once. Number 6, Stop and Shop Rotisserie Chicken. At $6.49, this sits in an awkward middle ground. Not cheap enough to excuse the quality, not good enough to justify the price. The breast meat is aggressively, impressively dry, the kind that absorbs saliva rather than producing it, requires liquid to swallow. It tastes overwhelmingly salty with this disturbing metallic, pennies in your mouth undertone. The garlic powder tastes burnt and acrid. The skin has a bizarre, rubbery yet brittle quality, thick, impenetrable hide with a zero crispness that appears lacquered rather than roasted. 520 milligrams of sodium per serving, 22% of your daily value, highest in this lineup. $6.49 for roughly 2.2 pounds, with only 12 ounces edible equals $8.65 per pound of actual meat. Reviews consistently say, tastes like it's been under the heat lamp since dawn. Morning chickens are okay, while evening birds are hockey pucks. Extended holding time is clearly the norm. Stop and Shop is caught between discount competitors and premium options with no clear value proposition. Quality reflects broader store decline and financial struggles. It succeeds only through geographic convenience and customers with literally no nearby alternatives. $6 for the culinary equivalent of a participation trophy nobody wanted. Number 5, Safeway Albertsons Signature Select Rotisserie Chicken. This is the chicken equivalent of getting a C plus in school, technically passing, but nobody's proud. The white meat is moderately dry with a mealy, grainy mouthfeel requiring conscious chewing effort. Here's the real kicker. It's aggressively peppery with a harsh burn-in bite that overwhelms everything. Paprika creates an illusion of seasoning complexity but contributes only color, not flavor. The skin ranges from soggy limp to leathery tough, depending on hold time. $7.99 California pricing for 2.7 pounds with 17 ounces edible equals $7.52 per pound of edible meat. Expensive for middle tier quality. Customer feedback says too much pepper. That's literally the only flavor, and sometimes good, usually just okay, occasionally terrible. Quality dramatically drops. After 3 p.m., morning birds are acceptable, evening birds avoid at all costs. Corporate consolidation means standardized mediocrity across all banners. The heavy paprika use is a cost-cutting measure that creates appearance of seasoning complexity without actual flavor investment. They're counting on habitual Safeway shoppers who don't realize middle ground is just expensive mediocrity. $7 for paprika-fueled smoke and mirrors with a pepper problem. But here's where it gets interesting because our next chicken actually tries, and you can taste the difference. Number 4, Target Good and Gather Rotisserie Chicken. At $6.99, this represents Target's elevated basics positioning, affordable quality rather than race to bottom pricing. The dark meat is legitimately juicy with tender, pull-apart quality. Breast meat is moderately dry, but not aggressively so. You can swallow without beverage assistance. The herb blend actually penetrates meat rather than sitting on surface. Garlic is noticeable but not overwhelming. Actual chicken flavor comes through clearly. The skin achieves occasional patches of actual crispness, particularly on thighs and drumsticks. $6.99 for 2.8 pounds with 18 ounces edible equals $6.22 per pound of edible meat. Legitimately competitive value. Target reviews say honestly surprised by how good this is and my go-to weeknight dinner reliable quality. It outperforms Walmart by a significant margin at a $2 premium. Consistency gets emphasized by reviewers. Never great, never terrible, always decent, which has real value for meal planning. Good and Gather launch represented Target's repositioning as elevated basics retailer. It succeeds by being genuinely better than low expectations suggest. Target's operational advantage means better supply chain management and less extended hold time than traditional grocers. $7 for reliability in a category defined by disappointment. The overachiever in a remedial class still isn't valedictorian, but definitely earned the gold star. If this is already saving you from a dry, flavorless dinner, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 3, Whole Foods, 365 rotisserie chicken. At $7.49 for an organic bird, this is the budget option that outperforms everyone else's premium attempts. It's legitimately juicy throughout both white and dark meat, actual moisture from proper cooking, not solution injection. Clean, straightforward chicken flavor dominates. You taste actual poultry, not seasoning or chemicals. Herbs complement rather than mask. No artificial aftertaste. The skin achieves genuine, consistent crispness. Audible crunch when bitten, shatters rather than tears. 360 milligrams of sodium per serving, 15% daily value, lowest in category for seasoned options. $7.49 for an organic bird with superior quality is genuinely competitive with conventional options elsewhere. Reviews say it tastes like actual chicken. What a concept. And this is what I thought all rotisserie chickens were supposed to taste like. Global Animal Partnership certified, no antibiotics ever, outdoor access required. Quality rivals premium Costco chicken despite being smaller, created specifically to combat the whole paycheck reputation while maintaining actual Whole Foods quality standards. Organic sourcing produces noticeably different flavor. Better feed, better conditions, slower growth rates create superior tastes. That's not just marketing. $7 for what chicken should taste like. The Whole Foods chicken you can actually afford, and it's better than most stores' premium options. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2, Costco Kirkland Signature, Rotisserie Chicken. The legendary loss leader that's been locked at $4.99 since 2009 despite 60% plus inflation. Costco built a $450 million processing facility just to maintain this price. This is the chicken that broke economics. You get 3+ pounds, consistently 3 to 3.5, with closely guarded proprietary seasoning. It's consistently juicy across white and dark meat. This is the standard others fail to meet. Well seasoned with savory depth that permeates throughout. Salt level is aggressive but balanced by size and richness. Actual chicken flavor is pronounced. Skin ranges from legitimately crispy when fresh to moderately crisp after sitting. $4.99 for 3+ pounds yields 20 to 24 ounces of edible meat. You're paying $3.63 per pound, literally half the cost of most competitors. Costco sells 100 million plus rotisserie chickens annually. Bloomberg confirmed they lose money on every bird, larger, juicier, and cheaper than all conventional. Competitors, classic loss leader that deliberately loses $30 to $40 million annually, but drives membership renewals and store traffic. Former CEO threatened to kill any executive who raised the price. Current leadership maintains this policy as a sacred cow. $4.99 for 3 pounds of corporate stubbornness and consumer obsession. When capitalism occasionally malfunctions in your favor, this is what it tastes like. But that's nothing compared to what happens when a grocery store actually makes quality the priority instead of the marketing claim. Number 1, Wegmans Rotisserie, chicken family-owned Northeast chain that built its 100-plus year reputation on food quality obsession long before premium grocery was trendy. At $7.49, this costs 60% more than Costco. Here's the thing, it's actually worth it. Juicy, succulent white meat that defies rotisserie expectations. Breast slices like restaurant quality roasted chicken. Dark meat is fall off bone tender. Complex seasoning with genuine herb depth. You taste layers of flavor. Actual roasted chicken flavor dominates. Salt enhances without overwhelming. Consistently, reliably crispy skin. The gold standard in this category. Gorgeous golden bronze color. Maintains crispness for 20 to 30 minutes after purchase. $7.49 for 3.2 pounds with 20 ounces edible equals $5.99 per pound of edible meat. Premium pricing justified by discernibly superior quality. Reviews say spoils you for any other grocery store chicken and better than most restaurants. Regional customers report traveling 20 to 30 minutes past competitors specifically for this. Quality exceeds all competitors including Costco and Whole Foods. Approaches restaurant rotisserie chicken quality. Family-owned chain prioritizes long-term reputation over quarterly profits. Higher grade chicken stock, better seasoning ingredients, more frequent cooking batches, and stricter protocols all cost more but deliver measurable quality customers actually notice and pay for. $7 for the realization that you've been settling for mediocrity your entire adult life. When quality obsession isn't just marketing speak, this is what it tastes like. The rotisserie chicken aisle isn't just about convenience. It's about understanding what you're actually paying for. Walmart's charging $5 for salted disappointment, while Wegmans is delivering restaurant quality chicken that justifies every penny. And get this, Costco is somehow losing money just to give you 3 pounds of legitimately good chicken for under $5. Don't assume all rotisserie chickens are created equal, because the gap between worst and best is shockingly wide. Sometimes paying $2 more gets you exponentially better quality. Sometimes the cheapest option is actually the best value. And sometimes natural or organic labels are just expensive lies. The best rotisserie chicken is the one that actually tastes like chicken and doesn't require drowning in sauce to be edible. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll shop for rotisserie chicken, and drop a comment telling us which ranking you think we got wrong.